our original idea was send it to East Bay, do everything online. We don't have to focus on that. So sound like a great idea until East Bay is not legacy. So they don't have legacy in their best interest. And so once we saw and started getting the feedback that it's becoming a challenge, well, Carrie said, we'll just make our own t-shirts. She has the machinery in her mom's garage. She hates it. But every shirt that you have on that has legacy, she handmade those, right? And so that's important to know that not only is the journey, we talk about this all the time, for 7 years, that's 2,555 days that she was trying to get this school up and going. The commitment just from that, from the founder, the commitment to reach one goal is amazing. And then the support to do that. Okay, after working a full day, we're going to go home and make t-shirts. And then I send her a text just to jab at her. You in the garage? Right, and so I want you to know that the work that everybody's doing to ensure that this happens, because we're committed to the vision, is unbelievable, right? I know some of you think Carrie doesn't even go home because you always see her. She's always on her phone, text messages at 2 in the morning and then 5 a.m. And so we are all committed to this vision. Now, are we going to have hiccups? Yes. And so, but I want you, and I'm spending the time with this is because I want you to know how committed we are. Right? I want you to hear the story. I want you to hear where we plan on being really soon and as fast as possible. So I'm just asking, as we have these hiccups, that you come and talk to us, because it'll be no different than the East Bay situation. Hey, well, let's find a solution, right? And as sport parents, the same analogy I'll use for you guys is what we do on the field, kind of show you our strategy. If I made an error in baseball and your dad in the stands, hey, shake it off. We got to look forward for the next play. We talk about that, right? We stream that out. But same thing in the school environment. I'm going to own up to it. Hey, we made this mistake. East Bay wasn't the best thing. We're getting focused for the next steps, so we don't make another error like that. So next year we know it's not going to be East Bay, right? Or we have to have a little more conversation so that legacy is a priority and our parents are a priority. So give us the opportunity to correct it, right? To shake it off, look forward, and do right by your kids, right? And you guys. So the expectation here, kind of moving in for students, is that eventually you're going to see a sign somewhere that says there's one standard. And that one standard is excellence, right? And so I Googled what excellence meant, the definition. And so it's pretty simple. Would anybody like to guess what the dictionary says? I'll share it. I'll move. Quality of being outstanding or extremely good. Are there any students in here that, from the sports side, are trying to be outstanding? Please raise your hand. Extremely good. Right? Thank you. And so what we're going to tell you is that life isn't about being extremely good in one side of your life and being very poor performing in the other side. The more you practice being excellent, the better you become at being excellent. If you can be excellent at something that you hate, imagine what you can do with something that you love, right? And so we want to teach you. If you hate English and you hate writing, and then you make an A because you worked your butt off, what is going to happen on the field or on the court? Right? That commitment, the 2,555 days, you're going to do whatever it takes for something that you love and you're committed to. So our expectation here is that you come with the pursuit of excellence in your classroom and on the court or in the field. And if you don't play sports, then when we're going into those pathways, you're trying to figure out how to set yourself apart from your competition who wants that internship, right? And so that's our expectation here, is that you pursue excellence. Our policies are going to give you the freedom to do that. One of the parents told his son, when I said that, he told his son exactly what was going to be the next sentence out of my mouth. With great freedom comes great responsibility, right? You have to manage yourself. So we're not here trying to tell you everything that you need to do. We want you to think about what you need to do, because when you turn 18, 19, 25, 37, your choice is what's going to determine how successful you are, right? You're not going to want to call home when you make that mistake, because your mother is going to say, well, that reminds me back in 97 when I told you to take the internship. That could be us right now. If you had just made the right choice. I told you. Actually, I put all those things in place for you, right? If you don't want to hear that, you need to start practicing these choices. And so in school, again, we make them wear those things traditionally. We make them wear, go, do, walk on the right-hand side of the hallway with your hand behind your back with the bubble in your mouth. Anybody heard that? Any kid heard that? There's one, right? But that happens nowhere ever in your adult life. Is somebody going to say, walk in a straight line with your hand behind your back and a bubble in your mouth? So why are we teaching it to the kid, right? And so that's what we want. We want to practice being an adult. We want them practicing making good choices. If you're telling them the entire time what to wear, how to wear it, where to walk, when to walk, how to do it, when to do it, and they don't ever get to make those choices so they can make that mistake, they're not going to make the right decision, right? Because when it's their turn to make the decision, it's really their first time making the decision. And we tell them traditionally as a parent. Now all this goes out the window as a parent, right? Because those emotions. So we're going to do the teacher part. But I know with parents, it's just do whatever you can right then. I'm going to punch you in the mouth or whatever. Because I'm patient at work. I can be the most patient person. I'll wait out any kid. I can sit here all day with the kid with a positive attitude. When I go home, I'm kicking doors down and where's this? What's going on? Because I'm looking at myself, right? So we want them to practice that. Practice what they're going to have to do. Because at 18, 20, when they make the wrong choice, it can be more impactful on their life, right? Right now, we're at home. It's a controlled environment. Mom, dad, us can kind of, any mistake that they make, we can probably come to some kind of resolution. But when they're off at UNC, University of North Carolina, or Duke, we don't have that support, right? And if any of you think that it's only about sport and not about the decisions you make, watch ESPN tonight, and there's going to be a ticker that goes across. And you're going to see somebody, some athlete at some level is going to get some kind of consequence, either financial or sent home for their choice, not in catching the ball, shooting the ball, running the ball, but how they deal and interact with people. The school rules, right? And so you need to start figuring out how to make those decisions. We're going to help you with that, right? And so a lot of conversations are going to happen. As you can tell, I enjoy talking, right? Some of your kids are going to come home and say, Mom, they do not have an in-school suspension, and that is what I want. because I don't want him to talk to me anymore. Right? Can you please ask him to give me Saturday detention? Right? And so all we're doing is teaching. Right? All we're doing. When our kids make mistakes, the first instinct will be to teach, not to punish, not to remove them from that learning environment. Because every time we do that, it makes learning less important. Right? And so let's get to what y'all are all here for. The first day of school and what it's going to look like. Right? So we're making schedules now, right? Traditionally, from my standpoint on the school side, and most schools try not to share this with you or you might not see it, but when we pass out schedules early, like with the period and everything, usually we did that on a Wednesday. By Monday, there's so much movement going on because we're still trying to finalize stuff that when your kid walks in the door, they go to first period and they're not on the roster. And so then they're going around these schools and again, walk to the right, put your hand behind your back. They're walking around the school in a school that has controlled environment, asking questions, and adults don't want questions to be asked, right? And so they might have a negative experience on that first day grand opening and a teacher snaps at them, right? And now they don't want to go to school there anymore because of that first experience. So we're working on the first day of school. What's going to happen is they're going to come in on the middle school side. We're in the high school side now, but on the middle school side, they're going to come in the front door. They're going to come in. They're going to find their name on the wall. We'll have lists all over the wall, alphabetical, and what room to report to. So they're going to report to room 101. In room 101, those kids, it will be their first period. Those kids will receive their schedule for the day. From there, we'll get all of our paperwork, registration stuff, our counts. We'll get all that school stuff taken care of and then begin moving through our regular day as much as possible, right? We're hoping that it runs seamless. Believe me, if your kid comes home and says, oh man, you should have seen it, it was chaos. It is not because we wanted it to be, right? I am not designing chaos, right? It was an overlook or something that we did not project out. And so what we're going to do is note that first day 2018, 2019, ... So then first day 2019, 2020, it shouldn't happen again. Now in 2019, 2020, it happens again, then you come like, that's a pattern of behavior. I'm a little worried, right? Concerned. And so that's the process we're going to go through every monumental moment. So the first day of school for us is going to be a huge deal. I've already brought all of Carrie's family for the first day because I believe right after the bell rings, she's going to sleep for about 3 months after she cries. Yeah. Right? Remember, over 2,000 days. I may cry right now. Yeah. 2,000 days of pursuing this, and it's going to happen next week. Right? And so it's going to be amazing. And we're going to try to have an amazing first day for your students. And so we're just projecting out. Everybody that we're working with and parents coming and asking questions, didn't think about that. All right, we need to do this. Didn't think about that. We need to do this. We've never opened a school like this, right? There's no other school in the state of Texas like this. So nobody in this building has experience doing what we're trying to do. And so again, we're going to make some mistakes. We're going to do whatever it is, shake it off, touch your heart, just like in sports, and move on to the next thing so we won't make a mistake on day 2. We won't make day one's a mistake on day two.